I think there's also with Lomachenko, you guys know how big of a fan I am, but there is a hype train and a media push where it's some of the stuff I'm like, okay, please, like let's relax a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think part of that, and Shawn and I, we've talked about that with music before, where if somebody keeps telling you how great something is, your natural instinct at some point says, no, it's not. It's not that good. So I think people do that with Lomachenko a little bit, where they keep talking about he's the greatest, he does this, and then they're like, yeah, I didn't think his performance was that good. Just because you don't want to be like, okay, I get it. You think he's the best.
Offset.
Yeah, you kind of want to offset. Like I talked to somebody recently that said J. Cole is one of the greatest lyricists of all time, and I was like, okay, please, I beg of you, like don't say that ever. Don't say that ever again. But I thought it was good. What did you think? You mentioned kind of want to talk rankings. Where did he?
Hold on, before we flip to that one.
Yeah.
Hey, one thing I love about I see where boxing's going now. Like Shawn, you're a big Loma fan. Yeah. Shawn alluded to Manny. You know, I don't think the O is as important as it used to be when Floyd was just leaving.
Yeah.
Now we actually look at Lomachenko like, yeah, he has 2 losses, but he's still one of the greats.
Yeah.
Manny Pacquiao was still one of the greats. And I think Floyd made that O so damn important in boxing that it started to F up the business of boxing, the popularity of boxing. And I feel like we're starting to trend it into another way where we can start making fights and get away from that damn O. So that's so damn important O.
Well, guess what? Yeah, well, what I was gonna say was, you taking a look at this fight and it's on ESPN, it's on network television. Millions of people are gonna watch this fight, and they're gonna see that Lomachenko has a loss now. Mm-hmm. So, casual boxing fans, of course, we all know how he got the loss, the way it happened, da. But there's so many more people that are gonna tune in, and so this guy's got a loss and probably turn their head for a second. But then once they see what this guy starts to do and how he's performing, it's going to catch on that it's not really the record that always matters, but it's about the performance. And anybody on any given night, just like any given Sunday, you can win a fight.
I mean, the best fighter, pound for pound fighter in the world hasn't lost.
Yeah. And I mean, Shawn carried that. That was a great win Shawn career.
Yeah.
Shawn had losses, but you knew what the hell you was getting.
And also Lomachenko had the loss to Salido so early that he always had that loss. So when they showed these pound for pound lists, he had a loss there, which was kind of nice to.
So much so that I forgot I forgot about
that's
that.
Why that's why when you kept saying, I kept saying losses.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
well, the context of fewest fights to win a world title, fewest fights to win title in 2 divisions, 3. That really helps soften those 2 losses.
Yeah. And beating Gary Russell is
great win.
Yeah,
but it also helps empower the hype job, you know what I mean? And it's
the haters.
It's like you want to promote the fight, you want to promote the fighter, and you got so many great things to say about a guy that's so young and and has done so much as a professional. But it's like, I don't know. You just got to find that happy medium where you can promote the fight, say everything that needs to be said, but not overdo it. And I think a lot like Ali Walsh.
Yeah. And I would even say similar to Tank. Like, I think people were so annoyed at Floyd, and Floyd's pushed Tank so much that people have a similar thing with Tank, where they're like, nah, he's not that good. But it's just because they just don't want to buy into kind of what they're being told. They don't want to buy into that. But
or they try to say he fights nobody.
Fights bums. He's a cherry picker.
Yeah, it's like, no, he fights good fighters.
I feel like Danny Garcia should have trademarked the cherry picker thing, because he really got that attached to him at some point.
Damn.
What do we think? So lightweight rankings, any change from last week where you're at, SP?
Shawn?
Where I'm sitting at, man, I'm still sitting the same. I think that Tank Davis, even with a hurt hand, everything that he did the other night, fantastic, most explosive fighter, quickest fighter, fighter with the most dog. I mean, he's the most complete boxer in the lightweight division. And then right behind him, I have Lomachenko. I really think that the Nakatani fight did it for me. When I saw him, when I saw that, I was like, I already knew that dude was one of the best, but there's no doubt that there's nobody in the lightweight division can beat him other than Tank Davis. And then, right down the list from there. I have to mention Ryan Garcia. I know that none of us mentioned him the other day, but he's out of the top 5 for me. And I think that he's number 6.
I think once he gets active again, I think he gets back into it. My rankings didn't change. I still think it's Tank and Loma are right there next to each other. But they just need to fight. These guys all need to fight.
Yeah.
And we have so many people were trying to say like, well, how does he do against the other lightweights? It's like they're so different stylistically. Like it's just tough to play that in your mind of across the board. Oh, I think he goes like this. You really have to break it down fight by fight. How does Tank do against Kambosos? How does Lomachenko do against Haney? How does Haney do against? It's just
it's so
many talented guys right there that I think give each other hell.
And I think mine says the same too. I got Tank, Loma. I mean, Tank shows the power, the boxing skills. He passed the eye test so far.
Yeah.
Everything everybody put in front of him, he took care of. Loma's been under. Go ahead.
I thought you had Loma lower than that.
No.
Okay.
Maybe check the tapes.
I feel like you said Tank, then you said Kambosos.
Oh.
Nah, I had Kambosos down there. He was in there, but I may have Kambosos second, Sean. You may have been right.
Yeah.
But as I went back and really broke it down, I got Tank, Loma, Kambosos, and I got Haney up in there since y'all said I couldn't put Shakir. That's my guy. Yeah. But and you know, shout out to Haney.
Yeah.
I think outside of I can't put out without Shakir and without Loma, he might be the second best boxer in the lightweight.
And he's
probably the best boxer in the lightweight.
He is a decade younger than Lomachenko.
Yeah, right.
He is 10 years younger than
But the difference between him and Loma in boxing, it's a big ass difference. When it comes down to box. What you mean?
You can hear me?
Pure boxing? I can hear you. You feel like he close to Loma in like pure boxers?
You said big ass difference. I wouldn't go with all that, but there's
I might
definitely
just take the ass off.
Well, Loma,
yeah.
Loma should fight your boy Shakur. Because he's talking about he only wants to fight for undisputed. But if you can't get an undisputed fight,
That might be your fight.
and you always talk about I'm probably actually a better fighter at 130 pounds than I am at 135. I agree. He's one of the great 130 pounders in boxing history.
That's a big fight. That's a big fight. I'm hyped.
Yeah.
Let's make the fight. Call Bobby.
They sparred.
They sparred?
considerably,
Years ago.
Lomachenko
Yeah.
and Shakur.
You got the tape?
No, I wish.
I don't know if we have the tape.
I heard
Oh,
it was
man.
good.
I think they said it on the broadcast yesterday was that it was so good that Lomachenko kind of was like, let's rock again. Like,
Damn.
let's go back. So I can imagine it was great sparring. But
And then my rankings did change.
Okay.
Once I
Okay.
knew we had to.
Lomachenko
Okay.
number one.
No, I got.
Did he drop?
So this is, I believe I have him at 3.
Okay.
Last week I had Gervonta up at number 2. I keep Kambosos at 1 because he's the champion. That doesn't mean I necessarily think Kambosos beats Tank, Loma, and
Yeah.
Haney. But
But he beat the guy that beat the guy that beat the guy.
he's the champ.
Yeah.
So he's number 1, right?
Yeah,
shut up.
But Tank,
You say that in the comments. You don't really say that. I understand you was thinking that. You don't supposed to say that on the show.
No, shut up. You heard other people say that. He beat the guy who beat the guy who beat the guy.
but he did. Hey, talk about it.
I got that in my notes.
He had his
I
notes.
literally, when I was typing, I'm like, yeah, that's smooth right there. Yeah.
Came correct. No, but I had Davis at 2 last week because in part his body of work. I said Santa Cruz, underrated win, Pedraza, those are good wins. But then I realized we're ranking them at 135, right?
Yeah.
Santa Cruz, the fight was at 130. Mario Barrios, the fight was at 140.
damn. Oh,
Jose
damn.
Pedraza, the fight's at 130.
Yeah.
So at 135, his 2 wins are Gamboa and Isak Cruz, right? 2 solid wins. So I got to put Haney in front at 135 because he has Diaz, Linares, and Gamboa. 3 is greater than 2 kind of thing. So Haney actually has the stronger body of work, not overall as a fighter, but as a lightweight.
Yeah, I mentioned that last week that it's
That's why he
tough.
got the middle seat.
But it's tough.
Yeah,
for
he
me.
got it. He did all technicality.
yeah,
Because I said
what's
last
up.
week, it's tough to even say like Lomachenko. You mentioned exactly the point of he's better at 30, maybe even 26 than he is at 35.
Right.
And Tank can fluctuate amongst all these weight classes, so it's tough to say. Well, at that specific one, it's tough. But
Yeah, if we were talking pound for pound, I'd still put Tank ahead of Devin Haney right
Yeah.
now. You know,
Yeah.
he's
just
earned
because
that.
of the ability in multiple weight classes,
Right,
Yeah.
and you know, beating more former champions so far. So I actually got to knock Tank, talking lightweight, not pound for pound. I got to knock him down to 4th because I still got to put
Keeping Loma third.
Lomachenko. I got to put Loma 3rd because the body of work,
Yeah.
which is still a greater body of work overall than Haney has at 2. But with you taking a loss, I'm gonna knock you. You got to get back in line a little bit.
Yeah.
And Haney, undefeated, has the one belt Kambosos doesn't have, has now proven himself against some good veterans this year in 2021. I'm putting the young man at the front of the line to challenge the man for the titles at number one. So Kambosos 1, Haney 2, Davis 3rd, Lomachenko 3, because stronger body of work than Tank.
35.
And I'll put Tank 4. A strong number 4. You know?
It's a hell of a way to look at it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I can't. They're so.
Hey, don't even try to argue it, Carson.
No, I'm saying I can't. I wouldn't argue anyone down about how you have any of them.
Right.
If you came in here and said I have Kambosos 1, I'm not going to argue. Or you said you had Haney 1, I'm not going to disagree with that. Like those guys are all right there. There's not a ton. I don't think that separates them. That's why I think it's so interesting.
I think all of those fights, stop turning around, are very, very close fights too. Which is just to go to what you said, Carson. Like it doesn't really matter where you have them because each one of those fights are going to come down to the wire. I believe. I'll just like play Haney and Davis in my head real quick, and I'm like, that's a good fight, and I don't know which way it could go. You know what I mean? I think I have the intellectual way I expect it to go or think it would go, but I mean. Devin on his best day, oh man! So yeah, I am tripping on the mathematics that Shawn over there kicking all them technicalities. I hate to agree with him, and I'm not going to agree with him. I still got Davis number 1 at 130, 135, and 140.
Dang.
I can't argue. Like it is what.
I mean, he could clean up. He can go down there and clean up everybody.
And then guess what? If he happens to be able to make 130, that fight with him and Shakur Stevenson.
Oh my gosh, that would be unbelievable.
Whew.
Yeah.
Yo, that's a great fight.
Yeah. Don't give me hype.
Yeah,
I'm hype.
I give Shakur an edge. As skilled as, no, not
mad at it.
I was like, wait a second.
I give him an edge in skills. As skilled as Tank is, I think Shakur is more skillful. But Tank has the punch that Shakur doesn't have.
I could give Shakur 7-5. Oh,
I don't know. I got to see how he is. Because Tank doesn't have to win 7 rounds to win that fight. He just,
all right, Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, let's
take
hope,
his one.
Let's hope a lot of
and
those
he's
fights
not
happen.
Wilder either. He's going to win some.
Yeah.
He doesn't just need
Damn,
one.
don't do Wilder like that. Wilder. You heard that?
Best American heavyweight of the last 15, 20 years, Deontay Wilder.
Boy, he be answering questions. He cover up his shit with facts.
Yeah, no, I love Deontay, man.
What's up? I'm Showtime Shawn Porter.
I'm Ant. Follow me on IG with 2 T's. Let's do it. Let's do it again.
All right, just introduce yourself.
Okay.
And then you tell them what to do. I'm Showtime Shawn Porter.
I'm Anthony Brenagh.
Carson A. Merk. Like, subscribe, comment.
This is the Porter Way.